Nearly 2 in 3 Americans now say that their lives are better off now than they were before Donald Trump was elected president, including record high numbers who report having more satisfaction in their personal lives and more confidence in the U.S. economy, which, if you haven't heard, is doing gangbusters. Which honestly is just the strangest thing because, see, if I recall correctly, weren't we all promised an apocalypse? According to the latest Gallup poll, a record 61% of Americans say that they are better off now than they were 3 years ago. That's higher than any percentage 3 years into a first-term presidency in the last couple decades. For example, 3 years into Bush Sr., Clinton, and George H.W. Bush, only 50% of all Americans said they were better off than they were before the election. 3 years into Obama's first term, that number dropped to 45%. But today, nearly 2/3 of Americans, including many Democrats, say that their lives are better now than they were before Trump was elected. A record 90% said that they are more satisfied with their personal lives than they were 3 years ago. 52% say it's easier for them to go and buy things in the stores now than it was in 2016. Confidence in the U.S. economy is at its highest point since 2000, while the number of Americans who say that the economy is our greatest problem is at a record low. 401ks and retirement accounts have reached record highs. And see, this is all incredibly weird because here I thought we were all supposed to be dead by now, right? Dead as doorknobs. Trump was supposed to bungle all our foreign policy and ISIS was supposed to have already raised flags over Kansas. Then pulling out of the Paris Agreement was going to do us all in and we'd be choking on our own smog and drinking dirty coal runoff from our kitchen sinks. Or we'd all be trying to swim out of Manhattan and LA, which were supposed to be giant coral reefs by now. Isn't that what we were told? See, which is funny because carbon dioxide emissions in the U.S. actually fell about 3% last year, according to the latest annual study from the International Energy Agency. In fact, global carbon emissions flatlined globally for the first time in years because our carbon reduction was so great it actually offset the increases from countries like China and India. And all of that was without any trillion-dollar global wink and a handshake. Net neutrality was supposed to kill us all, remember? Haven't heard about that one in a while. North Korea was supposed to nuke everyone. Millions of women should have keeled over since Planned Parenthood chose abortion over health care and pulled out of the Title X program. Trump's tax cuts were going to send us all into the poorhouse. And then nixing the individual mandate under Obamacare, that was going to do us all in, remember? And wasn't Russia supposed to have taken over everything by now? That's what we were told. Where's the apocalypse that we were all promised? Where are the bodies in the streets and the people wailing in sackcloth and ashes? Where are the handmaids? Have we shoved all the gay people back into their closets yet? Can women even still vote? See, this is what happens when you've got a media and a left-wing peanut gallery that has nothing better to do with their time than scream hyperboles and predict doom and gloom because they're still cheesed about losing an election. Because they want so bad for this country to fail if their guy isn't the one at the top. They've spent 3 years rambling on and on about every possible apocalyptic scenario, and not a single one of them has come true. But this is what happens when you've got a president who doesn't care, who pulls out of bad deals and pushes policy that drives a better economy for everyone, who doesn't care what your skin color is or what gender you are, but he does care whether you can put money in your pocket. You end up with a record high number of Americans who say that their lives are better today than they were 3 years ago because actions speak a lot louder than whining. So now I guess the real question is, what do you want to be saying 3 years from now? And that's your Reality Check, America. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page, like us on Facebook and Twitter, and stay sane out there.